1 year? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 year only. Yeah, your English is really great.
Oh,
Yeah, for
thank you.
1 year, you are practicing a lot. You have been practicing a lot. All right.
Thank you.
Gabriel, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bruno Passos, what about you?
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Bruno. I am 32 years old. I live in the city of Serra, Espírito Santo. I move tomorrow to the capital, that is Vitória. It's near here. I am a software developer. I also like water sports, just like Formula One and MotoGP. I really like MotoGP. Also, a lot of other types of sports. Football, not soccer, but football. I study English, I don't know, all my life, since I remember. Sorry, my dog is here.
Don't worry. He's welcome.
I'm here to practice because it's important to my life and my career. And I think that's it.
All right. Nice to meet you, Bruno.
Nice to meet you.
Elida,
Hey, good
can you
afternoon.
introduce yourself, please, Elida?
Yes. My name is Zelida. I am 22 years old. I live in Ceará. I was born in Fortaleza, but I don't live there anymore. I live in a small city called Limoeiro do Norte. I love pets. I love sports, especially volleyball. I love to play volleyball, but last year I had some problems in my knee, so I had to stop to play, and I miss so much. Anyway, I have been studying English for real since the beginning of the pandemic. And a fun fact, it's a fun story about English is because I work at a hospital, and during the selection, I was the only person who had two languages, And yesterday, there was a woman from Germany there, and her Portuguese was not so good, but we could understand. But I was working in another place inside the hospital, and my boss called, "Oh my God, call Elida, she can help us." And I was, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of myself." And they didn't call me, but because the Portuguese of the woman deu certo. But anyway, that's it.
Yeah. All right. It's really great when people remember our names, Oh,
Yeah.
Fernanda, she knows how to speak English. Call Gabriel, call, Bruno. So ask for help because they speak English. It's really interesting. We feel useful, yeah. So it's very interesting how skills can make this job of making us feel more useful, yeah. So that's that. Nathan or Nathan, how can I call you?
Hello, everyone. Nathan is great. It's nice. I'm sorry,
All right.
my camera is off because I'm in another meeting.
Don't worry.
My name is Nathanael, and I live in São Paulo. I'm from São Paulo. I am 41 years old. I am married. So I have a baby with 5 months, 5 months old. It's the great moment for me. My baby.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I work with technology information. I like to travel, and I like to be with my family, and to be my friends. So it's the pleasure to be here learning and speak English with you. Great. That is about me.
All right, so that's that. Nice to meet you too, Nathan. Nice to meet you, Nathan. And all right, guys, let me just try something here. I'm trying to put the questions we are going to discuss on chat, but I can't, and I don't know why. Let me try to open the chat again. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah, it's not working. I don't know why it's not working. I can't. All right, so let me. I don't know how can I do that, but I think I will share a Google Doc with you all with the question. All right, so you can see the questions, because if I share the screen with you, I think it's gonna be a problem, because we have to stay on the main room. 2 of you are going to stay in the main room with me, and 3 of you are going to the breakout room. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna create a Google Doc, and then I will share with you the link of this document. But before we start, I have to tell you some stuff about TALKNTALK that is important, you know, for you to know. So the first thing I have to say is about what is TALKNTALK, yeah, because I want you to understand why do we exist. All right, so TALKNTALK is a platform where you learn English through the real or process, you know, of exchanging information, connecting to people. So this is TALKNTALK. It's a lot of people that are sharing ideas, sharing opinions in English. So English is not the focus itself, you know, the focus is on people, on ideas, on talking, on having conversation, on sharing things, you know, giving and receiving things, you know, information, or learning and things like that. So this is the first thing I want you to keep in mind. All right. The second thing I want you to keep in mind is that it's not a class. It's not a class. It's very important for you to learn that you will learn here. Of course you will, because we are talking, but it's not a class. I'm not going to give you a new vocabulary list or material or things like that, because today we are only here with the purpose talking. You know, we are here to talk. The other thing, it's really important that you keep in mind that it's not allowed for you to correct anyone. Don't correct anyone. If the person says, I have 30 years old, instead of I am 30 years old, just accept that. You understand? Yeah? If I say I am 30, you understand. Why do you have to stop the other person in the flow of conversation to say, hey, you are wrong? Oh, no. Oh, boy, it's not it's I am, you know? Understand the English? My English is great. No, don't do that. I know you won't do that because you look amazing, guys, but I have to say, because it's very important for you to keep that in mind. When you correct the people, you create a block in the flow of the communication of the process, you know? So, and the person sometimes fear making mistakes. So this is the other thing I have to say, make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Here is a safe place for you to make mistakes, all right? Because you are practicing, you are learning, you are practicing other language. You're having the courage to do that. So that's that. I have to say that if you want to join a real English class with without being recorded and with English materials and all the jazz that you have in a class, you can subscribe to one of our plans, you know? So you go to talkandtalk.com.br and you can find some plans that you can subscribe to. All right? Any questions? No. All right. So let me share the document. Well, today we are going to talk about fluency. So the topic is about fluency. It's about what you are looking for, yeah, fluency. So now I will share the link. Just 1 second. Let me open the link to everyone so everybody can read.
I sent in the chat the link the questions that is in the TALKNTALK site.
Oh, you sent.
Yes.
All right. So thank you, really. Yeah, I don't know what's the problem, what's the matter, because I always can just paste the questions here, but today it's not working. But okay, anyways, let's go. The first question. Oh, sorry. Let me create the breakout rooms. Okay. 1 second. Okay, guys. Okay, the rooms have been created, so just click to the join button and enjoy your conversation. Okay, who else? Gabriel, Quirino, and Nathan. You have to click to the join button. Nathan, can you hear me? No, Gabriel, you came back. What happened?
Can you invite me again? Sorry.
Yes, I can. Just 1 second. Yeah, I don't have the option here to invite you again. I don't know why. Let me try it here. Look, I'm going to put you in the waiting room and accept you again. All right, just 1 second. Yeah, I can't send you again. Gabriel, can you close your Zoom and you come back again after?
Of course.
Please try that. Let's see if it works. It solved the problem. All right, so while we wait, let's start here. So can you all see the questions?
Yes.
Within the link? All right, so let's start. The first question, what is fluency for you? So please, Bruno, can you answer this question first?
Yes. In my opinion, can you go?
No, you can answer. You can answer. I'm just going to put Gabriel in the room.
Okay. In my opinion, fluency is the capacity to understand and to be understood to other people. When you are in a conversation, or maybe when you are in the chat, just writing with another people, just being. I don't have too much to talk about this, but I think, but in my opinion, this is the basic about fluency. You need to be. You need to understand what the people is trying to, the information that the people is trying to send to you, and you need to do the reverse to pass the information correctly to other people, and keep this conversation flowing. Keep the flow. Understand?
The flow.
I think that's it.
All right. Makes sense. Elida, what about you? What do you think?
Yes, I agree with Bruno. I think fluency, I consider a person fluent like when when you are able to communicate what you want, you know, to have a conversation and understand and be understood. So, for example, making a connection about the fact of yesterday, after the story about the girl, the woman from Germany, another person came to here and asked me, Elda, can you talk in English about everything? And I said, no, there's a lot of subjects that I don't know to talk about it. I don't have vocabulary enough, you know, but I am able to communicate and to, you know, like solving some problems, because I think fluence is not 100% about being advanced and have a high level and, you know, having a perfect English. I think it's, no one has a perfect English, you know. So I think that's it. When, like, my English is not perfect, but I am communicating with you when I'm sharing my ideas and I'm sharing my opinions and talking about what I think. So I don't know, I consider myself a fluent person, you know.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, I agree with you all. I agree with both of you guys. Yeah, I think fluency is different than proficiency, you know? So you can be fluent and you can be proficient. So if you are a proficient person in the language you are speaking, it's because you know all the grammar rules, we have fluency in Portuguese, but we don't know any. Yeah, that's that. I don't know a lot of grammar rules in Portuguese, you know, and I'm a Portuguese fluent guy. So I think that's that. Fluency is about flowing the communication, like Bruno said. Perfect. Let me see here. The next question is, does language make the personalities of each nationality different? Does language make the personalities of each nationality different? Bruno, what do you think about it?
Does language make the personalities of each nationality different?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the language. I think it's more related to the culture of the country of the place, to change the personality. I really don't know. Like I cannot see a connection to the language, you know, to change the personality of the person. Sorry, but I really don't know.
All right, don't worry. Don't worry. What about you, Elida? What do you think about it?
I think language can be influenced, you know. Like, let me say an example, or I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe it's a stereotype, but I will say the example. Sometimes I always listen people saying that the French person is like beautiful because of the way of they talk, you know, about the way, I don't know if you can understand me, but I think the way you speak, you know, can be, how can I say that, can show an image, you know.
I
don't know what I'm talking.
It's a stereotype, yeah. It can create a stereotype.
But for example, there are some languages that, for example, Germany, Russian, we feel like they are being rude, you know.
Yeah, I thought the same idea. I had the same idea. Rude.
Because of the language. French is like beautiful or elegant.
Romantic, maybe, you know? Yeah.
And I think can be influenced. Of course, it's not a rule, you know, but it's an image that we can have about the other countries and other nationalities. I think you understand me, right?
Adding to that, I want to ask you, what do you think about Portuguese? Like, for example, look, Russian, Germany, hard people, rude people. Not we are not creating stereotypes here, right? We know that there are a lot of Russians that are amazing in Germany, German people that are amazing too. But how do the language look like? So Russian, German, French, a little bit romantic and kind. I don't know. Maybe. What about Portuguese? What do you think, Elida?
I really don't know.
What's the idea?
Because I don't know.
Brazilian Portuguese, all right?
I think the best person who can answer that is person from another country, you know?
I have an idea.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I think we dance with our language. We sing with our language. I think Brazilian people, they show an open personality, you know, because of the language. I think Portuguese has this more fluid and open language. I think that I have this idea, you know.
Yes, and there's a lot of versions, you know, about the same language.
Of course, the same language.
It's not the same in all the country. It's different, you know.
Yeah, it's different, but I think we have the same characteristic of open with almost every accent here. For example, in Northeast, people are sing a lot while they speak. You know, here in Salvador, we sing a lot. We speak singing, you know, with a rhythm. In São Paulo, a little bit less, I think. Rio de Janeiro, I think people has the same gingado with the language, you know, we can say gingado. Bruno, what do you think about it? First answer about you have already answered, but what do you think about the Portuguese language?
I agree, but just adding about the German people. My brother lived in Germany for 4 years, and he said that exactly as Elida said, it seems that they are cold when they are talking with us, but it's normal to them to talk straight in the point. They don't talk a lot of things and dão a volta to go to the point. They are straight. So it's normal to them. And about Brazilian, I agree. We sing in our language, especially the Northeast people. In another talking talk, we talk a lot about accents. Yeah. And we talk about this, and we achieve the same idea that we sing in our language, and the Rio de Janeiro people from Rio de Janeiro is the people that sing is the most that sing when is talking in Portuguese.
Yeah, like that. I have the same idea. Very good, very interesting. You see, so I believe that we don't the language is not going to change your personality, you know, but maybe it have some kind of influence in the way you act or the way you deal with things. Maybe when I speak English, I think I'm more objective than when I speak Portuguese, you know. I think maybe because I don't have the same quantity of the same amount of words available, maybe, you know. So I don't know exactly why, but I feel that. And yeah, I have other emotions that I feel when I speak English, for example. Yeah. but that are different from Portuguese. But okay, let's move on to the next question. And the next question is, let me open here, or here. What's the difference between fluency and proficiency in a language? What's the difference between fluency and proficiency, Bruno? Bruno, are you with me? Can you hear me? All right, you're back. You're back.
Sorry,
Okay.
I think my internet connection is not good today.
All right, but it's working. What's the difference between proficiency and fluency?
Well, okay, fluency, I already told about fluency. Proficiency, I think that proficiency is it's more related to a high level of fluency, to have more vocabulary. I don't know if it's correct, but when my brother is studying German to move to Germany, he told me about a level that is higher than advanced, that is university level, when the people talk with using more vocabulary, more technical vocabulary. And I think it's more related to this, to have a high and a deep kind of vocabulary to express your ideas. Maybe it's the difference between fluency and proficiency. In fluency, you can express your ideas, you can be understood, you can understand and be understood to the other people. And in the proficiency, you can do the same, but with maybe more class and going more deep in the idea that you try to pass to other people. Maybe this.
Great. Elida, what do you think about it?
I agree with Bruno. I think proficiency is associated like with when you know all the most rules of grammar, when you have so much vocabulary and you can talk about a lot of subjects. And it's funny because, for example, if I travel to a English native speaker country, and you understand me, I can asking for food, I can go to the places, and okay, I am fluent. But if I had to watch a surgery in English, for example, I wouldn't understand anything, because there are a lot of technical terms and words, And I think, for example, I have a friend that last month she traveled to Italy, and during the traveling, she is a basic student of English, but she could asking for food and, doing the basic things in English. And maybe she's not proficient in English because she's basic, but she's fluent because she enjoyed the travel and used her English to survive there,
Very good.
And that's it, I think. I think that's it. I don't know how to explain better.
Great explanation. Both of you gave great explanations. Yeah, I think proficiency is more about. I think proficiency is related to two skills: grammar rules, and writing. Now, I think proficiency is like that. It's related to writing and grammar. Why? Because when you write, when you know how to write down things and you learn and you understand how to organize your thoughts, yeah, in better ways. So when you learn how to organize your thoughts in better ways, following some rules, some ideas from the grammar and things like that, you create a lot of, you create a more proficient language speaking. And of course, vocabulary, if you know a lot of vocabulary, if you have more vocabulary available and you have rules and you follow the rules, you are proficient. But yeah, I believe we don't need to be proficient to speak, but I think proficiency is very important too, all right? We don't need to say, no, I don't need proficiency. Maybe you need, depending on what you're gonna do for your life, yeah? All right, so let's move on to the next one. And the next one is number 4. What's your opinion about level? Is it important to know your level of English? What do you think about it? A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. What level are you? What do you think about it? Elida, please, starting with you now.
I don't know. For me, it's important because I am a very organized person and I love to make the things extremely planned, plan everything and to do everything in tabelas, things
I
like
understand.
so
I understand.
I like to do level tests to compare, to see the progress and to having a graphic. And of course, I don't do a graphic of my English, but I like to know what level I have because I don't know. For me, it's important. I am a person who needs.
Like to track. You like to keep tracking to
Yeah.
know exactly where you are and what you need to
Yes.
do to go to the next step. What is the next step? It's
Yes,
interesting.
exactly. I love to planning everything and just know how my is my level helps me to make metas. How can I say metas? I forgot. Goals, So that's it.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Now, it's important in my mind. It's important. I don't like a lot of levels because I operate different than you. So, but I still need, some kind of information. So, what about you, Bruno? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think that we as English is not our mother language, we put a lot of importance in this kind of thing that know our level and this kind of things. I I think it's important. For example, I did an interview 2 weeks ago for a Portuguese company, and we did a test in English, and the recruiter said that I'm B2 level, and it's good because I don't know, when I started in TNT, I think that I had B1 or more low level or something like that, and I understand that my practice my progress here it's happened, and I'm learning, and practicing every day. It's important. So it's important to, as Elda said, we need to put some goals, something that we need to achieve, and understand in which level we are. It's important to understand if you are in progress, if you are updating your level, your skills, or if you are stuck in the same place.
All right.
I like when I learn about this other type of ranking the English that comes from A1 to C2. I always use basic, intermediate, and advanced, but this other type that comes from A1 to C2 is better. We have a more range and more steps to progress, and I really think that it's important know our level, and I think that's it.
All right. Thank you. Let's go to the next question. What do you think we can have different levels according to the ability? For example, advanced in reading, but intermediate in speaking, etc. What do you think about it, Elida?
Of course. Oh my God.
Different skills.
And it's funny because I remember my second meeting here at TT in 2020 was with you, Yuri, and it was about first dates, first kiss, something like that.
Yeah, I think I remember.
And I never forget about this day, and I always the time I have the opportunity to talk about it, I talk about it because it's funny because when I met Tinti, I could read and I could listen some things and understand very well, but I couldn't speak because my brain just froze, and I was not able to finish a phrase, a simple phrase in English. I don't, of course, you don't remember that, but I remember that in that day I told a story about my first date with my actual boyfriend, and it was about roda gigante, and I don't know, I told the story 99% in Portuguese because I could not speak in English. I couldn't finish a phrase in English, and I was understanding everything that the people was talking, but in the first meetings I couldn't speak very well, and I remember that I went at the time that the meeting was finished, I thought I never came back. And in the other day, I was like, hi guys, I'm back. And thanks, Elida, for not giving up that time because I'm here now, 2023, talking to you in English because I didn't give up at that time. So I don't have courage to watch these meetings in the past. I just can't watching because it was so embarrassing to me. I really suffered a lot because I'm a shy person, and it was awful. I don't have courage to watch, but now I can look, I can remember of this time and see the progress.
And
And
now you're here speaking.
yes, I am able to finish a phrase in English.
Not only a phrase, yeah. So
A
yeah,
thought,
congratulations for not giving up. Yeah, this is very interesting. Can you see? Bruno, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I always think that our listening is always ahead of our speaking ability. So I don't know about other abilities because I always focus my time in speaking and in listening because I think it's more important. We are we have time to maybe if you need to write an email or something like that, you have time to use the translator or other tools to do the things that you have to do. But when you need to speak and listen, it's on the time. You don't have time to stop and translate and this kind of things. You need to do the things when the time comes. So I think that's it. Our listening always ahead or speaking. Something that I did when I started to learn English. I don't know, 10 years ago, I started to listen a lot of podcasts in English, and I had the perception that my listening upgrades a lot my vocabulary, but I don't have the opportunity to speak these times. So I always think that I already have a lot of way to improve my speak, to achieve a good level as the same I had in the listening ability. I think that's it.
All right, all right. Yeah, about writing, yeah, I think writing is very, very, very important. Look, sometimes we don't value writing because we have time, but man, it's very important writing, because when you write down, you understand how to organize your thoughts. Of course, speaking is fast, writing is slow. You can write down, you have time for it. But this is why we use a lot of essays in Portuguese, redação, because it's very, very important writing down in order to progress in the thinking process and speaking process. So it's very important. Don't undervalue this. So it's very important. But yeah, I agree. We have this thing about levels. And I agree. I totally agree with you, Bruno. When we listen, it's easy to understand and learn how to listen. It's just listen and you will learn how to listen. But when you have to speak, oh my gosh, yeah, it comes shy problems, everything is like that, I think, because it's passive and active, passive, listen, just listen. Okay, I don't have to work my shyness, I don't have to work my anything, my voice, I don't have to be in front of others saying a lot of things, and sharing my ideas and being judged maybe. But when you listen, you don't have this problem because it's passive. So I think it's easier to listen than it is to speak. And it is easier to read than it is to write, So write down is harder than reading. So I think it's that input is easier than output. All right.
I'm sorry.
No, you can say. I finished it.
Just to add something. When we are listening, we don't need to think about to think too much. But when we need to talk, we need to think a lot. We need to process a lot of things in our brain to talk something. So I think that is the point when that makes everything more hard when we need to talk. We need to put our brain to work too much. Then we need to just to listen.
I agree, totally agree.
I thought in one question about it. Can I?
Yes, please.
If you had to put in a ranking to the easiest or the hardest skills, what would be the order? For me, like the easiest is reading, listening, speaking, and writing. The hardest is writing for me. And how about you?
What do you think, Bruno? Rank the skills.
I think listening is more easiest. Listening, writing, no writing, reading, listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Maybe this.
Yeah. All right. So both of you think that writing is harder than speaking?
Yeah.
All right. So this,
Yes, because
this is
I don't
interesting.
practice writing.
You have
That's
to.
why
Right?
it's harder.
You have to, guys. If I have one advice to give you is write down, write more, write every day. You know, write at least what you have done during the day. You know, just what have I done? You know, or what you will do. Your plan. What's my plan for today? So write down. You will see a difference. Just do it, and 15 days ahead, you see some difference in your language, in your speaking. It's really insane how writing is powerful. All right, but let me tell you, I think reading is easier than listening. Like Elida said, I think reading is easier than listening because I'm a visual person. You know, if I see the words, it's easy. But when I have to just listen, nowadays, of course, I can listen. But yeah, when I have only to listen, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna learn Spanish now, and I know listening is gonna be my hardest, easiest thing. You know, so the harder between the easier. So yeah, first reading, then listening, then speaking or writing. Yeah, I think speaking is easier, and then writing. Yeah, the same of you. I think writing is really hard because you have to. Do you know how? Why writing is harder? Is the hardest between all of them? All of them?
It's about, I think it's because we don't practice a lot. I started to practice to write the last 1 month, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I started to do my posts in LinkedIn just using English, and as you said, I feel some change from the first post to the last, and I feel that something changed. So I feel some evolution, upgrade. I forgot
Yeah.
there's a better word, but I forgot. I feel something changing to better in
Great.
my writing ability, and
Great.
you are right. It's a good, you bring a good point. We need to practice more this to help our other abilities to improve. Is that the word, to improve together?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Practice all the abilities together to improve them together.
Great. Great.
It's a good point.
Writing is not good only for English, but for your brain too. Yeah, writing is very, very good for your brain. But look, there's one reason that you didn't mention, that is when you write down, you can make mistakes, a lot of mistakes. But when you speak, you can make mistakes because when you speak, you have other things around. You have uh, the sometimes you have the image, you know, the gestures, you have a body posture, you have your voice, the intonation, everything you have, you can use. But when you write down, you have to use the words and the rules, the words and grammar. You know, it's only that. So you have to follow some rules. If you don't do that, it's gonna be a mess. So I think this is the point. So when you write down, you have to follow the rules. You have to organize the thoughts, because if you don't do that, it's gonna be a mess. And that's it. Guys, I'm going to bring people back because we have only 6 minutes. Now I'm going to bring Fernanda, Gabriel, and Nathan back. And while I do that, while they come back, let me see if there's another question. Oh, to be fluent in English in 3 months. What's your opinion about the quote? Do you think this is possible, Bruno?
No, it depends. It depends of the started level of the person. If you some person that never speaking nothing any word in English, I think it's impossible. But if it's something that I already practice a little bit, I did some kind of travel to a country and had the opportunity to speak in English, I think it's possible. But to a started person, I think it's is impossible.
English in 3 months, fluent in English in 3 months. Yeah, people use that a lot in marketing, selling English course. I don't believe that, because I think you would have to be very, very, very disciplined and a person who does nothing than study and practice English. You know, you don't have to, you can't go to work, you can't pay bills, you can't have kids, you can't have a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband, you can't have family. You have only to study and practice. I think it's possible, like you said, Bruno, but I think it's very, very, very hard to a regular person. Elida, what do you think about it? Be fluent in 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. I think it's possible, but it's almost impossible. I don't know.
Possible, but almost.
I think depends, you know.
Yeah, all right.
It depends on of your goals, you know. If you want to learn just the basic things for travel, for example, like asking for food or something like this, okay, it's possible. But knowing, you know, all the grammar rules and something like that we usually see at traditional course, I think it's really impossible, because as you said, you have to study the most part of the day, and your life is not just studying English, you know, you have a life.
That's that.
So, that's it.
All right, guys, Fernanda, Nathan, Gabriel, welcome back. How was the conversation over there?
It was good conversation.
Good. Did you like it, Fernanda?
Yes, it was interesting. Gabriel needed to go to the work. So a fire in the house. I don't know.
Yeah, man, you are going to work right now?
I needed to get out in the middle of the meeting.
Oh my God, man. All right, very an adventure talk and talk today. Yeah. All right, Nathan, what about you?
Yeah, it was the great conversation, very nice. It's very funny, Gabriel. Get out the room. It's very funny.
All right, guys, we have 2 minutes only, so I have to these 2 minutes to, first of all, thank you all for being here with me. It's always a pleasure being a host on Talk and Talk, because it's every conversation I have something different to learn and new ideas to get. And sometimes we have a formed opinion and we learn another opinion, different opinion, and we learn something different, something new. So it's very important. And sometimes we have some funny things happening, isn't it, Gabriel? So yeah, it's very interesting and I love being here. Guys, I would like to ask you, please be here, come and join the next meeting class, all right? The next meeting, the next Talk and Talk immersion. I will be here next Thursday, the same time, all right? So at 4, and that's that. I want to ask just one thing. I want to ask you, please click to the button that I've sent on chat and give me your suggestions, your ideas. And what do you think? What do you think about the class, about the Talk and Talk immersion today, about the topic? Anything you want to add, you can click to this button and give me your thoughts. All right, that's that. Great afternoon for you.